What's up, guys? Welcome back. Highside Broadcasting coming back to you guys a lot. Can't talk today. Again here today, not live. But again here today. Pre-recorded video. Like usual with the 2002 series. Figure out which drivers I want in this race. We'll give Brennan Poole a shot in the 15 this week, and then the 51 will keep it the same. 78 will keep it the same, and we'll add Chandler Smith this week. Yeah, gotta make sure those settings are right, and they are. Long one here today. We are at Charlotte, and it's the Coke 600, so it's 80 laps. Again, I like to show you guys the standings. This is the 2002 standings. Again, we're keeping track of our own with today's standards and today's standings, and we're doing playoffs and all that. So, should be fun. When we get there, this is the 12th race of the season. 12 races in, and we've had 10 different winners. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy, but who is going to be fast at Charlotte? Gibbs, Hendrick, Gibbs, Hendrick, the top 6. So it'll be a Gibbs or a Hendrick car, it looks like. So, quick recap on last week. Joey Logano and William Byron. Logano already had a win. Byron did not. Those two were racing for the win last week. Byron dominated the race, but Logano got past him with like 20 or so laps to go. Led every lap except the last one. William Byron going into turn 3 passes Logano for his first win of the season. Logano already has a win in this season and ends up winning the race. First win of the year, like I said, for Byron, and it's been a rough year for him, but qualifies decent. He's 24th, and he just hasn't had the speed this year, but pretty much dominated. Richmond was pulling for him. He got the win. Last lap pass for the first and only last lap pass this season so far. But tell you what, these 3, I should say, and even Bell, Elliott, I don't know. These 3 are up there. Well, I can't even say Truex. These 2 have really dominated this season. Truex looked good early. He's like 6th or 7th in points. Elliott doesn't have a win, but he's been there the whole time. He's 3rd in points. Chastain, Bell, Logano, Bubba, all 1 win apiece. Busch has not won yet. Reddick has not won yet, though he's been very fast. Keselowski has a win. So you could either argue Keselowski or Bubba Wallace, the 2 most surprising winners this season. Everybody else is kind of expected. Larson and Chastain, the only guys with multiple wins so far this season. This is going to be a long one. Bear with me for this one. So the only notable entry for this week would be Chandler Smith in the 13. We know he's doing part-time for Colleague, looking to get a full-time Colleague ride next season. We'll see if he can't manage to do that. It's up in the air right now. A couple deals have been signed throughout this season. Stenhouse will be back in the 47. Hemrick is moving from the Xfinity Series to the Cup Series, replacing Haley in the 31. Haley has not announced where he's going next season. There's rumors he could be going to Rick Ware Racing. We'll see. But the green flag is in the air, and Chandler Smith is the only notable entry for this race. A couple other guys have been running. When we get to a road course, I expect a lot of notable entries to be there, but we'll see what happens. Denny Hamlin leading early. Larson and Truex to 2nd. Always gotta love this view. Spectator view. You can see almost everybody. Look at that. That is so cool. We gotta go back to like mid-pack here. Chase Briscoe, 23rd. It's been a rough year for him. He's currently worst in the standings when it comes to full-time drivers. There's 33 full-time drivers. 30, yeah. Oh my gosh, somebody already had an issue. Yeah, I believe. He's last in the full-time standings, I know that. Harrison Burton, an issue on the first lap. Already went down pit road. Oh, there was an issue for him. Looks like right off the rip. That could have been a... So it looks like right off the rip, he was kind of low. That's unusual. Maybe a mechanical issue with the car. Let's go to cockpit. And he just didn't go on the start, pulled out, and just had an issue right off the rip. Already a lap down. It's a long race, but it's not a good start for the 21 of Harrison Burton. It's been a... Depends on what you want to call mid or horrible season. He's about 27th in points, so not great. I wouldn't say that's mid, but not great. Hamlin and Truex currently lead. Larson leads the standings. Hamlin second. Elliott third. I believe Kyle Busch is fourth. And then Chastain fifth. Or maybe they switched. They might have switched. But right now it's Gibbs, Hendricks, Gibbs, Hendricks, the top six. So looks like the top five is pulling away. Elliott, Chastain, Logano trying to hang. We'll see what happens. But Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, they've been very fast this season. Dominated a lot of this season. Especially Hamlin and Larson. You look at the most laps led, those two are definitely going to be up there. But if you go back further in the field, nothing's really surprising. You got Bubba Wallace there in 9th. He's around 13th, 14th, 15th, somewhere around there in points. He lucked in. I got to say, he lucked into the second race, or the second race of the season being his win, where he won at Rockingham. Definitely lucked into it. A lot of strategy, there was a wreck at a middle pit cycle, and Hamlin and Chastain had dominated that race, and Bubba Wallace came in and stole the win from both of them, and I don't think Hamlin or Chastain ended up finishing that well. The pit cycle with the caution definitely screwed them. But Kyle Busch, consistent. Same with Elliott. That's why they're both top 5 in points. Reddick is one to talk about because he's fast every week. Most weeks he's got a top 5, 6, or 7 car. He's had not even that many DNFs. He's had a few DNFs, but just bad finishes, wrecks where he finishes laps down. It's just not been good for Reddick in that way. And because of it, he's 19th in points. Like, outside the playoffs, and this is the 12th race into the year. Like, he got to turn it around. He's got to get finishes. And, heck, if he can win, that'd be good. I think there's a good chance he points his way into the playoffs, but maybe not. 16th seed is the guy right behind him, and that's Chris Buescher. Been about a 16th place car, running 12th right now. So we'll see who can get that playoff spot. Still a lot of races left. Heck, they could both win their way in. Anything can happen. But with that being said, 13th is Ty Gibbs. Interesting for him, he's like 8th or 9th in points. Like, another one that's just been consistent. Well, you have Elliott and Busch consistently getting top 5s and top 10s. You have Gibbs consistently getting, I'd say top 10s. And that's why he's 8th, 9th in points. That's a guy you expect to see around 16th, around that cut line. And him and Daniel Suarez, who's 17th. Those two are like 8th and 9th in points. And it ain't because they're finishing 8th and 9th every week. It's because they're super consistent. Right now, they're not running great. Gibbs 13th, Suarez 17th. And for them, that's where you expect to see them. That's not where they ran this season. They've run well. They've just not DNF'd. They get good finishes, and they just haven't DNF'd. They just haven't had bad races like most of these guys have. And Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson, they've led a lot of laps. They've both won races. Larson, multiple races. They're 1 and 2. And right now, they're 1st and 3rd in this race. And that's why they're way ahead. Those two are way ahead in the standings, and then 3rd down. And this is why. They're 1st and 3rd right now. This is why. Those two. They haven't gotten the wins, though. They're up front a lot, but they haven't gotten the wins. So 2 wins for Larson, 2 wins for Ross, 1 win for everybody else, or no wins for everybody else. It's been that kind of season. But Keselowski was racing Christopher Bell for the win late at, was it Texas? Or Atlanta? Texas? One of those two. Yeah, one of those two. Bell was, leading, coming to the white flag and pitted. And I guess he couldn't make it on gas. A lot of the field pitted. And Keselowski was right there in second, right on Bell. It was between those two coming to the white flag, and Keselowski ended up winning that race. That was a great, way for him to get locked into the playoffs. He's like 15th or 16th right now, so he'd be on that cut. But he's in with the win. He doesn't have to worry about it. Now he can focus on trying to get the 17 car into the playoffs. You can see he's running 14th right now, Keselowski is. And Bell ended up getting redemption the very following week. He dominated Martinsville and won. So that's his only win of the season. But he very realistically could have two himself, running 5th right now. But then you got Bowman. It's been a struggle for him. His good days, he seems to be like 15th. He had one run where he was in the top 10. And we're going to have lap traffic. Harrison Burton off the pace slow and does not get out of the way of the leaders. Lap traffic, a big factor at Richmond. We'll see if it is a factor here. Looks like they're... looks like they're all going to go by him. Unless he comes down in front of somebody in the corner. Yeah, it looks like right there, Byron. He got in Byron's way. So this is an opportunity for the top 3 to drive away. Byron's trying to get under him now and bring Bell, Elliott, Chastain, Logano with them. We'll see what happens. That would not surprise me at all if this ends up being a round of 8 later in the year. Heck, I might even call that this is a round of 8. Like, this would not surprise me one bit. The top 8 right now. But Busch, Reddick, any of these guys, Blaney, any of these guys could sneak in, but it would not surprise me if that 8 right there, Hamlin, Truex, Larson, Byron, Bell, Elliott, Chastain, Logano is your round of 8. But we'll see what happens as they're 1 through 8 right now. But going down the list, Blaney, it's been a pretty consistent year for him. I want to say he's around 10th in points. Not super eventful. Blaney's been quiet. He's run well, around 10th in points. Good for him. Talked about Suarez, him and Gibbs, super consistent this season. Very well in points. McDowell, it's been a struggle for him. He has good runs, like right now, 18th. Like, every time I look, I swear he's 18th. But between DNFs and days that he does not run very good, I think he's like mid or high 20s in points. We'll see if McDowell can't turn it around. Harvick, he's one of the inconsistent drivers, I have to say. There are weeks where he will be running top 10, and then there's weeks, more recently than not, it seems like he's 19th, 18th. Opened up the year, he was top 5 in points, slowly fell, and I think he's around 10th in points now. So we'll see what Harvick can do, running 19th. Allmendinger, I think he's around 18th, 19th in points. Not out of pointing his way in. But because of all the different winners we've had this year, there's a good chance he'll have to win his way in. So we'll see if Allmendinger, consistent, running right around where he is in points. But behind him, Chandler Smith. Potential rumors he will replace Allmendinger in that 16 car at the end of the year, full-time next season. Or they could potentially buy a charter and he could run full-time in the 13. Or he may not be in Cup next year, knowing that Haley's out, Hemrick's in the 31. See what happens. Austin Cindric. There's no other way to explain it. It's been an abysmal season for Austin Cindric. He's like 30th in points. A lot of DNFs, a lot of bad finishes. And when he doesn't have that, this is where he's running. 22nd. Not good for him. Ricky Stenhouse started off the year super hot. He was just like Gibbs and just like Suarez. He was 10th in points for a while. One DNF brought him down to 16th. It was early in the year, so he lost a lot of spots. And since then, I think he fell to 17th, 18th, 19th, somewhere around there. So similar to Allmendinger. Runs 23rd right now. We'll see what happens to him. Briscoe, we talked about him a little bit earlier. Worst regular season driver. I mean, we've had 11 completed races. He is DNF'd over half of them. 6 of 11 races he's DNF'd in. And when he doesn't DNF, there's a lot of times where he's running outside the top 30. So for him to run 24th right now, he probably shouldn't complain. It's been a rough season for Stewart-Haas, and the fact that that's the second Stewart-Haas car we're talking about, not good. LaJoie, been consistent. He's around 23rd, 24th in points, running 25th right now. That's about where he finishes every week, so consistent for him. We'll see if he can improve. Eric Jones, been a good year for him. He's running 26th right now. Not great, but he's the last guy. He's the first guy out right now. I think he's 17th in points. So Eric Jones, not going to help his case trying to get to Buescher but we'll see what happens. It's been a good year for him. Eric Almirola started off hot, finished the Daytona 500 second. I think, top 5. And then since then, it's been similar to Briscoe. He's had 4 DNFs. It's been a bad year for him. Same with Briscoe. He's 31st in points. Or no, he's 30th. 31st. No, he's 31st. Cindric is 30th. Almirola 31st. Ty Dillon 32nd. Briscoe 33rd. Pass for the lead. Truex looking to get by Hamlin. Larson and Byron are there. Bell is there, and looks like the top 5 has kind of drove off. So it's 3 Gibbs, 2 Hendricks. But yeah, it's been a rough year for Almirola. Yes, and yes, Briscoe is behind Ty Dillon in points, and we are 12 races into the year. Yes, that is true. That's true. Not good, obviously. Ryan Preece. Not too much to say. It's been uneventful. I do feel like Ryan Preece, seems like there's a lot of races where, like the race Harrison Burton's having right now, I feel like is how Preece has been this year, where he'll have a lot of mechanical failures. He'll have a lot of either wrecks, and he won't DNF. Like, he doesn't have all that many DNFs, I don't believe. But a lot of bad finishes. Like, no DNFs, but bad finishes. Like, so because of that, he's like 27th in points, 26, 28, somewhere around there. Austin Dillon started off slow. Took a while for him to find his rhythm, I should say, where he was 30s, high 20s in points. He's raced his way up to 22nd or 23rd in points. Not good. He's running 30th right now, but obviously expect more out of the 3 car when you see Bush's top 5 in points. But Todd Gilliland, same with LaJoy. Yeah, he's running 31st today, but same with LaJoy. I think they are tied in points for like 24th, 25th. So it's been a consistent year. Same with Gregson. He's right in that wheelhouse. Same with those 3 are ahead of guys that you wouldn't think they'd be ahead of. So props to those 3. And then you got McLeod, Poole, Ware. Those guys, part-time drivers, doing what they got to do. But then you got Ty Dillon. I don't really know if it's been a good year, been a bad year. 32nd in points of 33 full-time drivers. Potential talks that he won't be in that car next year. Car is not super competitive. We'll see what happens, but that's pretty much the field. 28 laps into this 80-lap race, Hamlin has taken the lead. Martin Truex, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Christopher Bell. Looks like Chase Elliott is right there on Bell, so you got a 6-car breakaway. Yep. And then a little bit of a gap back to Chastain, and then back to Logano. And then it's 2.5 seconds back to Bubba Wallace and Reddick. But we'll go through. Been an uneventful race so far. I like an uneventful race every once in a while. This year has been kind of crazy. Last couple races have been mellowed out. That's good. Like to see the points mellow out a little bit. But I like some crazy races, but like Bristol, man, some of the races on here are just not good shows. Bristol was, I don't know what it is about the AI, but they cannot race there. They cannot race there. They are not good. Pretty big gap from 19th to 20th. Harvick almost, 5 seconds over 20th. Allmendinger. Pretty big gap there. And then there's a pretty good gap from 8th to 9th. So let's say 3 seconds there. Looks like there's a gap here too. 1.4 from Dillon to Gilliland. Then a pretty big gap from Gregson to McLeod. But as long of a race this is, we probably will see quite a bit of lap traffic. Let's do a look here. You got Hamlin. We're going to lap Burton again here pretty soon. He's going down the front straightaway. His last lap there is 32 seconds. These guys are running, whole 2 seconds faster a lap. So, but there's Cody Ware. Then you got Ty Dillon, Poole, and McLeod. And Cody Ware. I'd like to know what's wrong with the 21 car, because he wasn't in an accident, so I'd like to know what's wrong with the car. Something obviously is wrong with the car. It's right along with him again. A little better lap time that time, but obviously still off the pace. Yeah, you can clearly see these guys are running way harder. Something wrong with the gearing? Because look at his RPMs. He's barely running 8 grand down the straightaway, 171 mile an hour. Hamlin, almost 180, running way faster. Look at this. Catching Harrison Burton. Clearly just much slower. Just much slower. And clearly holding them up in the corner. Hamlin trying not to waste any time. Truex, Larson, and Byron are there. Larson taking the opportunity to try and get under Truex. Here comes Hamlin. Bell taking the opportunity. And this is going to shuffle the field here a little bit as Truex and Byron are stuck behind Burton. Larson, Bell, Elliott, and this is allowed Chastain and Logano to get into this mix. Burton and Truex and Byron are going to go from second and third to 7th and 8th potentially. Wow. Because of Harrison Burton still in their way. Truex, Logano underneath him. He's still not going to be able to get by Burton. He might lose a spot to Byron yet. He will. And no contact there. Larson, what happened to Larson up here? Nothing. He's good. Oh, we got the 9's in the wall. The 9 was in the wall. He's got a lot of side damage. Still green. So the 5 got into him. What happened here? Remember, Larson had an issue too. Elliott just went up the track and just slammed the wall. I don't know if he lost grip. That's what happened to Larson. Oh, Larson and Bell were checking up for something. Something was going on up here that these guys were checking up. And you see Larson just blew the corner. Bell got by him. Then Elliott on the apron. That's why he slid up. No, he slid up later. Oh, Hamlin was pitting. Is that what they were all checking up for? Denny Hamlin pitting? They knew Hamlin was pitting. That shook a lot of things up. The 5 is going to, or the 9 is going to have damage, as everybody's down pit road right now. 9 is going to have damage for sure, and that's going to hurt him. Because they're probably going to repair it, or he's just going to be a lot slower. It's the 11. Going to have to watch the 11 and see when he merges, because we're almost halfway through this race. So the fact that they're pitting at halfway, could we see another incident that happened at like Texas where they're pitting coming to the white flag? Because we are halfway and they're making pits. I'd be very curious to know. So Larson and Byron are merging here. Looks like Hamlin has a gap on Bell, Chastain, Logano. You can see the 9 and how far back he's gone, still going back. Yeah, the 9's having an issue. One of those drivers that I was talking about earlier, super consistent. That's why he's been top 5 all season in points. Running top 5 today with an issue. Hamlin has taken the lead, so the short pit worked for Hamlin. We'll see if it works in the long run now. It's Christopher Bell 2nd, Chastain 3rd, Larson 4th, and Byron 5th. If I have to say the biggest frauds, or flauds, whatever, this season has been for the drivers that have dominated, like Hamlin and Larson, and they only have a combined 3 wins, is probably pit road. Like, or unlucky or pit road. Probably both. But, yeah, the 9 is now back in 20th. Be curious to know if they fixed the damage. Can't really tell. Here we go. They did. So then they fixed the damage on the side of the 9, and that's why he's back in 20th. So we'll see how many spots he can gain back. Hamlin has got by the lap car and Ty Dillon, and Bell has taken 2/10 out of the gap. Chastain, Larson, looks like they're coming, so we could have a race yet on our hands. Hamlin may not run away with this one. We saw it last week. We thought Byron was running away with it. Logano and Larson came charging back. Logano actually got by him, but Byron got past him back again, so... So lap traffic is going to be a factor the rest of this race. I can almost assure you that. We're only a little past halfway through this race, and lap traffic, they're catching BJ McLeod and Cody Ware. Down to a second, 1.3 and 1.7, and Byron caught a little bit by a tenth. And they are stuck behind the 77. They need to get by him and take advantage of Hamlin runner up on these cars. These guys do not do a great job of getting by lap traffic. Not going to be aggressive. He's going to ride behind him. You can see the gap is now back to 1.3, 1.9. And Chastain lost a lot of time. He's almost back to Byron now. Bell looks to be the only one that got by the lap car. Larson, they're all stuck behind him yet. So Bell might be the only one left to challenge Hamlin, as those guys are losing a lot of time. Bell's going to be catching him quick, though, because he's stuck behind these lap cars. Yeah, he took a whole half a second, a whole 5/10 out of that gap. Oh, caution is out. And that's why something... I believe the 1 was in a wreck. And the 19, look at them dropping like a rock. Oh, my gosh. This is the issue. Oh, no, maybe not. Just gotta find the wreck. Oh, yeah. The 19, the 1 was in it. '77 lap car got the wall. Everybody checked up. The 1 and the 5 made contact. The 1 wrecked. The 19 came in spinning through the grass. The lap car got the wall. Truex is going to DNF. Look at the smoke coming out of his car. Wow. It's always the good cars that get taken out. And it was, again, lap traffic. Ty Dillon just got the wall. Bell was underneath him. 1 had nowhere to go. He ended up hitting the 5 and then hitting the 77 again. And then you can see Logano and Truex just diving through the grass to try and avoid. And that's where, right there, Truex hit Chastain. And that's going to take him out of contention. Looks like everyone else got through. Hanging on to it, Bowman and Keselowski is through there, but wow. Martin Truex Jr. Another bad race, and that's exactly why Truex and Elliott and Chastain and all these guys that run well, that's why they're not leading the points. Larson and Hamlin, they just seem to not get involved in these incidents. I don't know what it is. They just don't get involved in these incidents, and this is going to shape up the field a lot. Because, now I'm curious, because the guys that were about to go a lap down are top 20 right now. Gotta follow the 11. They'll sort it out. So I'm not sure how it happened, but Justin Haley's fourth, Brennan Poole, Cody Ware, BJ McLeod. This is shit, and this is what I was talking about earlier, a sense of normalcy. This is not normal. Having some of these guys that were about to go a lap down somehow in the top 7 in the race right now. Elliott, Logano, 19th and 20th. Ty Dillon's out. Truex out. Harvick not doing well. He's now the worst SHR car. Almirola 30th. Briscoe 28th. Priest 22nd. Stuart Haas cars. Cindric, this is 33rd. This is what I'm talking about with Cindric, man. This is going to get interesting. Probably going to get messy and probably going to result in a lot of cars being taken out. Coming to 31 to go. The 15, the 51, and the 78. Not sure why they're here. How they got there. I don't know if they didn't pit or what. But then I figured they'd be in the lead. Harrison Burton, the only car lap down. I believe he's multiple laps down. He is. Green flag's in the air. Bell with the lead. Then Hamlin. Then Larson. This is going to get messy back here. Let's watch the 31. It's going to get messy behind him, I guess. 21. So the 21 is being passed by a Rick Ware car right now. That's not something you see very often. But that tells you how much that car is off the pace. Probably shouldn't have restarted in the front of the field. McLeod trying to go by him. It's a long single file line of cars. Bowman looking underneath McLeod, who's going to get stuck behind Burton, and Byron goes low. Bringing Suarez with, I think. Yeah, it's Suarez. Busch going by Wallace. Wallace, I think, got the wall a little bit off of 4, just a little bit. Suarez and Gibbs got by no problem on the inside. Here comes Elliott. Elliott trying to take advantage of all this mayhem. Rebound, trying to get back to the front. Bubba jumping down behind him on the bottom, going by the 21 Busher. Going to be stuck on the outside for a little while longer. Logano going by. Now you got LaJoy, Priest, Allmendinger. Surprised how clean this has gone. Bell, Hamlin, Larson have driven away from the field big time. Healy's probably still out there in fourth, yeah. But Brennan Poole, believe it or not, he's running down. What the heck? He's got Bowman and Myron on him. So those guys are hanging. I mean, they're fifth or eighth. And then McLeod's back to 18th because he was stuck on the outside, but Bell, Hamlin looking for their second win of the year. Larson looking for his third. Larson's been in contention for a lot of wins that he hasn't gotten. He very much so could have 5 wins by now, but this could be another example of could have won, or this could be an example of the third win in the win column. We'll see. Yeah, this is top 3 are gone, obviously. Somebody, I believe, was dropping like a rock there. But, yeah, somebody was. Caution is out. It was it the one of Chastain? Saw somebody dropping like a rock. Ooh, we got a big wreck here down the front straightaway. Chastain's in it. Oh, man. Bubba's already around at this point. Looks like it started with him. Elliott in front of him, Busher behind him. Bubba just got the wall. Same exact thing as Ty Dillon. This time there was a lot of cars there to hit him. Busher ended up being alright. Then he got going. And then they were piled up in front of him. So somebody, I believe, just nicked him because I saw pieces of his car flying off. Yeah, Logano. Ooh, 38 came in, clobbered the 42. 14 again was in it. I believe it was Logano. Or is this no, right here it is. Tried to avoid it. Did avoid it. Then he hit the 17, and then he wrecked. Looks like a lot of just fender benders until the 38 came in and hit the 42. The 10 probably has some damage from that, but 78's got a little bit of damage. But Gillen and Briscoe. Yeah, quite the mess. this one is turned into. A lot of cars a lap down. 17th on. So there's gonna be a lot of lap cars involved in this one. Looks like a lot of cars got their lap back, probably taking the wave around. So it's Bell, Hamlin, Larson. Then you got Haley, Poole, Byron, Bowman, Suarez, Busch, Ware. Quite the top 10 there. Fourth on even. Haley's not a fourth place car typically. This is not his first showing though, where he's been up there like this. But it's been a rough year for him as he's bottom 20s in points. So we'll see. This could turn it around for him. Looks like most cars got their lap back. Logano. Okay, you can add him to the list. Him and Truex. Logano just did it again, man. Every week when he runs well, can't finish well. He's lucky he's got that win in the bank, but try and at least finish top 10 in points at the end of the regular season, right? But we'll be coming to 12 to go. With Byron, Hamlin, Larson. It's going to take a lot for us to have a new winner today. 10 different winners in 12 races. Green flag, Bell, Hamlin, Larson going to lead the way, and it's probably going to be mayhem behind them. I'm very glad to say that we have not had a race end under caution yet this season. I've said it before, and hopefully we won't. Because in 2002, of course, races can end under caution. Hopefully this one won't, and hopefully none of them won't. I swear if the championship ends under caution. A lot of guys running the high side here. 42 keeps it off the wall. 38 was pitting. So he took the green just to pit. Suarez, this is why he's up there in points. Takes advantage of situations. Elliott sent it under Kyle Busch. That was Michael McDowell there. Trying to go by Cody Ware. Trying to get back in the top 10 in points. That car is good. Most weeks it's about a top 5 car, but still has not found victory lane yet. He's the 9. Racing up in the front between these three. Brennan Poole trying to hang on to a top 5. Suarez is taking advantage. He's up to 6th. Gibbs is down the opposite, down to 21st. And Hamlin going by Larson. Bell's got a small gap on him now. 9 to go. Hamlin is run back up to Christopher Bell. They're trying to leave Larson. Eight to go. Hamlin is all over Christopher Bell. They've driven off from all the cars behind him. Again, they've gained 6/10 on Haley and a whole second plus on Poole. Gibbs up to 17th, passed a lot of cars there in recent laps. Suarez on the verge of breaking the top 5. I imagine he'll get by Brennan Poole this lap. He did. Looks like a lot of cars might. No, he hangs on to 6th, but these three are linked together, coming to 5 to go. 6 to go, coming to 5 to go. And it's going to be between Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Larson. 3 familiar faces of dominance this season. Hamlin and Larson 1 and 2 in points. Bell's creeped his way up to 6th, 7th, somewhere. No, I think he's actually a little further down than that. It's been an inconsistent year, but it's been a good year for the 20 car. Can he get his second win of the season? It would be the first Gibbs driver to get their second win of the year. Bell, Hamlin, and Truex all with 1. Hamlin on his bumper. Kyle Larson right there. We're coming to 4 to go. Or coming to 4 to go, yeah. Saw a last lap pass last week at Richmond with the Logano going by Chastain. Caution comes out now. There's a good chance it'll end under yellow. Hamlin losing a little bit of ground with 3 to go. Larson's on him. Larson could get impatient, try to take second, and that might give it to Bell. Larson's best bet is to push Hamlin up there and both of them to go by Bell, and then that will put Larson in the captain seat to try and pass the 11, but I don't think racing for second's going to get either of them the win. They got to get up there and race Christopher Bell, coming to 2 to go. Bell has got a firm hold on this lead. Coming to the white flag this time. Hamlin just trying to close that gap. Larson could end up getting 2 in a row third-place finishes. He watched Logano and Chastain duke it out, Logano and Byron duke it out last week. Could watch Hamlin and Bell duke it out this week. White flag, and there's a big gap now. It's got to be 3 or 4 tenths between the 20 and the 11, or I don't think there's going to be any competition. The 11 sends it in, trying to gain ground. Pulled away from the 5. He's gaining ground, but I don't think he's going to get there. He definitely found something in that last corner. All in the 20 going through here. 20 drifts up, and the 11 not going to get there. Coming to the line, and Christopher Bell is going to win his second race of the season. Did Brennan Poole hold off for top 10? Looking like he's going to. Goodness. Gibbs up to 15th. Suarez 5th. Elliott rebounds for a top 10. Busch gets 9th. Bowman a good day. He needs it. Buescher 12th. Reddick 11th. So that's not going to do too much when it comes to the playoff picture for him. Cindric 19th. Dillon 18th. McLeod. Chandler Smith 14th. One off here. Done a couple races this season now. Some big names, DNF. Some big names with Harvick a lap down. And Dover's next. Let's go see 2002 standings. Means nothing for us. Means nothing. Elliott does hold on to 3rd. See the gap, though. Hamlin and Larson out there. Good old Dover is next. But, 5 poles for Larson, man. So, these are the 2002 standings. I'll be sure to get the playoff standings out for us. That's what we're going off of for us. That's what matters. Let's look at the laps led. Hamlin's out there by a lot. He's actually got a whole 100 plus on Larson. And then Larson's got pretty many on Byron. And then it's kind of everybody else. But still only 17 different drivers to lead a lap this season. Briscoe. Still not good. But 6 DNFs. He's DNF'd half the season, man. 12 races. 6 DNFs. See Reddick. He's DNF'd a lot. But All right, guys, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys will tune into Dover. That's another 80 laps as we did today, but it's a shorter track, so it should go much faster. Appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll be back for race number 13. Peace.